Hello, today I'm going to show you how to replace a cord for a Makita 5007F circular saw. And after the video, I'll give you a complete list of all the parts you need to keep on hand for the most common repairs. Okay guys, here we go. We're going to do a cord replacement on a 5007F Makita skill saw. If you'll notice, the plug's knocked off of it. The quickest, easiest repair would be just to cut it and replace it with a cord pronged in plug. But we're not going to do that. We're going to replace the whole cord. The first thing I normally do is when a job comes in, I go ahead and I like to test exactly what's going on. And we know it's going to need a cord, so we're going to go ahead and put this little Makita thing back on the cord here. So we're going to run it. Now, you might not have a continuity light like I do, but I do have one. So, and a couple of I've got some power here set up. I'll show it to you in just a second. Continuity light, power with a remote push button start, so makes it easy for testing. Alright, so we still got the blade on. We're going to just run it real quick without doing anything except just firing it up. If you listen to that saw, it's good. That sound is right. Check that guard. It should really be flying back and forth. If not, now I'm going to remove the blades just because I don't really want you working on it with the blade on it. Not to say that you can't, but hey, there's a lot of fingers in the way. Now get your little wire brush just for reference. You see that spring? This spring looks pretty good. There's a little bit of buildup, but pitch and tar buildup on it. Make sure you get it all cleaned off. It'll actually make that stretch that spring and make it longer than it normally would be because it fills up in between the grooves, and the spring can actually just fall off. This one's fine. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just check the brushes real quick. Real important, you just noticed how I had that one screwdriver and that one width is too wide. This one is the right size, so make sure it seats down in there real good. If it's not right, you got problems. Now look, if you'll notice that brush was sticking. Common problem. Wasn't a problem yet. So we take it out. Dry rag, paper towel, whatever you got. Wipe it clean. Put that brush back in the same way. Don't flip it up. It wears that brush to that armature. And if you put it back in the same way you took it out, then your wear patterns are all going to be the same. So pretty important. Not the end of the world, but it is important. Okay. And now she's in there smooth. So that was something that was going to fail at some point. We just fixed that. Alright. That one's in. Let's check this side. Looks like he's been cutting a little dust, concrete or something, and it was sticking a little bit. So we'll pull it out, keeping the same thing. We want it to go right back in the same way. Uh-oh, it just flipped on me. but I saw which way it flipped, so. And just clean that out a little bit. It's got to go in there. It's got to feel smooth. You can hear it as you put it in. You can hear it tapping that armature. That's what I want to hear. That means that everything's running pretty smooth in there. If it's sticking or binding or pinching or anything like that, you might want to take a little closer look at it. Okay, now we need a Phillips. Got your Phillips bit in there. And if you'll notice, there's just 4 screws there that I got out of there. Don't get into these 2. You don't need to. It falls off the back side. Then flip her up. That just came off of there. Make sure that goes back on. You can put it on when you put the blade back on. Alright, blow this out. Okay, she's all good and clean. There'll be 2 screws holding this little red plastic cord retainer clamp down. And so we got that off of there. Okay, and you'll notice right there that there's a little electrical connector. Probably this screwdriver is probably the best. Okay, so we got that off. So take the cord protector off first. Get that off of there. Okay, keep that other cord in your hand for just a minute longer. First thing you do is slide that protector on there. You do not want to forget to put it on. If you do, you'll end up essentially doing the job twice. Okay, and then you're going to want to cut those. That's a factory cord with a factory. I usually add about 1/4 inch, just in case you have to remake your connection. It's always nice. Peel them back about the same length as those were, and get those wires nice and tight, and then one at a time put them back into that connector. That one's in, and then this one, push it in good and tight. This screwdriver's a little bit, has to be the right one to go in there. Okay, there, that's in. Slip that right back in where it was at. It's in there's a couple little grooves in there that I call them grooves, but they're little oh, that little thing sits right back down in there. I was mistaken. It just kind of goes over that pin. Okay, and then everything kind of slides up in there, and then you just kind of work it all up in there, putting the cord protector back in that little groove. This will come up over like that. Okay. All right, now, right in here, I like to have that cord protruding out a little further. Usually, you could work it. You could work those back a little bit, and get that. There you go. I don't know if you just saw that or not, but okay. Now I got a good 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of the rubber jacket sticking out into there. If somebody tugs on that cord real hard and it moves a little bit, it's not going to pull out of there the first time. So, just so you know, just kind of tap on that a little bit, and just kind of flexes in place. I usually hold it because I want it snug. This one kind of fell right in real nicely, so we just get the 4 screws in, and okay, 4 screws are in. Plug her in. She runs fine, and put a little extra longer cord on this one for the customer. Just gives him a couple extra feet of cable, so you might not have to run an extension cord. You can order that from us, either the standard length or the extra long. We just have to know. Okay, all right. Blade back on. Correct rotation. That. I don't mind putting a little grease on there just for lubrication. Just don't over tighten it, because it will have a tendency to let you tighten it a little more. And that's all you needed. I always like to run it with the blade on. Just be very careful. All right. Makita 5007F, cord replacement, brush inspection and cleaning, and guard spring. Main 3 things I like to see for safety tests and checks when they come in. Thanks. Have a great day.